If you missed class instruction on how to fill out our sleep data analysis, which is basically a lot of fancy math, this video is for you. The assignment is the newest assignment in Google Classroom under the Labs category, called Sleep Lab Analysis. When you're in there, go ahead and open the Google Sheet that I have shared with you. As always, when you open a document or slide or sheet in Google Classroom, you're not right away in there. You need to push the square arrow. What's the square arrow? The square arrow is that squarish arrow in the upper right-hand corner, which will force the document, slide, or sheet to open in its native app. Alright, this is my fake student, Mookie Betts. He's going to go into his Google Classroom and click on the new assignment, Sleep Analysis. He's going to look at his work, and Mookie Betts 7th grade sleep data 2020, that's his Google Sheet. When we open up any Google app inside Google Classroom, we're not actually in the app right away. So if you were doing this on a computer, it would go right away to where you could work. We're in kind of a PDF, you can only view on it, write on it place. So we're going to press the arrow in the upper right hand corner, that square arrow, the square arrow, to open in. Mookie is now in the sheet. If we scroll way to the bottom of the sheet, it can be a little frustrating. We can see at the bottom lots of data I've already accumulated. So the yellow row is the total number of people who answered on a given night. 108 7th graders completed the form. The redded out areas are parts of the form that weren't done. So we have some people who didn't have great data, but most people got all 7 nights, or mostly 7 nights. The orange area is the total hours of sleep for that night. And to get the average, in the average box, we're going to write an equation. So I tap the box, then I tap this enter text or formula bar at the bottom. I tap the equal sign, and I could actually write the boxes I want to do math, or I could just click them. So if I click, I'm going to shrink it a little bit. If I click this 783 total hours box, it's called B113 because you notice above it, column B is where we are, and beside it, row 113. So it's a location. We want to divide the hours. We don't have a divide symbol, so we use the backslash. We want to divide it by the total people, in this case 107, so I click that box. Its location is still column B, but row 112. I hit the green check bar all the way on the right, or I hit the return key. Both will do the same thing, and I have the average, 7.32 hours for Sunday night. That is correct. I don't have to rewrite this equation. I can instead tap copy, and then tap, paste, and now that equation was changed, and it now says C113 and C112 instead of B's, because we're now in column C, and the answer came out differently because there are different numbers of hours total on Monday night. If I tap too quickly, the keyboard comes up and I can't paste. But if I go more slowly, I can paste the equation all the way across, tap, paste, and calculate the average for every night. Knowing the average for each night will help us answer question 3 later, which night got the most sleep and which night got the least. So we would just look which number was the lowest, which number was the highest, and that will answer question 3. We need this one to answer question 1, paste, and it changed the color. If I want to change the color back, I can do that, and I can change the font color back as well. It's not a big deal. So the entire 7th grade average for all 7 nights for the whole week, 7.62 hours. That's 712 pieces of data, 5,424 and a half recorded hours of sleep. All that math was just done for us. So this math is correct. Down at the bottom, we need our sleep. Your sleep was recorded, hopefully, in the Google form that we've been doing. This is best done with a split screen. So I'm going to pull up my website where we can find the Google form. And I'm going to click on that. Now, Mookie has been bad, and no, he did fill it out. He's going to edit his response. Well, that's me. It remembers me. All of this. And we're going to go to next. These are predictions. We'll need that second page of the Google form later for questions 1 and 2. So I predicted I would get less sleep and that females would get more sleep. And then we're going to have our numbers. So the first number, and we're not writing formulas anymore, was, let me just drag it up here, 4.5. And I'm just going to drag it over and write Monday's number. Monday's number is 5 for me, and these are kind of made up. And I didn't do the other nights, so I would leave them blank because I was very bad at my lab. Now, if you did all 7 nights, over at the end, it calculated your average. My average is wrong because I didn't do all 7 nights. So it's adding up all the green things. That's what sum B116 semicolon H116 backslash 7 means. It's adding them all up and dividing by 7. If you did 7 nights, leave it alone. If you did fewer nights like me, I did 2 nights, then I have to change to the number of nights I did, and then hit check, and it will recalculate my average, which is 4.75, which is terrible. For question 1, our prediction, I predicted I would get less sleep than average, and the class got 7.62 hours of sleep, and I got 4.75, so my prediction was correct. That's it so far for the first round of data. In the upper left-hand corner, we have a check mark. So I'm going to press that check mark, and now at the bottom I can see the 3 other sheets. So the first sheet was the entire 7th grade data, and it was big. The next sheet is the female data. And in the female data, we only have 1 bit of math to do. This bottom corner, we're going to enter a formula. I'll zoom in a bit so you can see. And it's going to be, again, equal sign. We're going to press this 2,000 box, the total for all 7th grade hours of sleep for ladies, backslash again to divide, and then the 330, the tan box. And we're going to find the average sleep for the ladies. So the correct equation is equal sign I55 backslash I54. And we find the ladies get 7.63 hours of sleep. So that one's done. Now we're going to go to the males' data and do a similar thing. Now the ladies only had 50 people reporting. The males had 57. So sometimes it's a little frustrating getting into the sheet. The males had 57 people reporting data. Again, I'm going to equal sign. I'm going to zoom in so we can see a little better. And get this 2,000 number, the total number of hours, I62. It's deeper down in the sheet because of there being more males. Backslash this, then tap this 300, I61. So the correct equation here is equal sign I62 backslash I61. We hit the green check, and we find out that the males had 7.65 hours of sleep, which is 0.02 hours more than the females, which is ridiculous. That is literally a minute. That is 72 seconds more sleep. Since we're rounding sleep to the nearest half hour, that is an insignificant difference. So we would kind of say the males and females came out almost exactly the same. That really affects how we answer some of our next questions. So if we hit the green check in the upper left, we can switch to questions. So in the first question, you have to compare to your predictions for the first 2. So how do you find your predictions? You go back to your form, and if you were previously looking in your numbers, you hit the back and you look at your predictions. And I predicted I would get less sleep, and I was correct. So what would I say? I would say I predicted I would get less sleep. I would write in a complete sentence, and I was correct. So let me do it. All right. There's an answer. Oh, wow. Hello there. I need to fix that. Great. For the second prediction, what did you predict about females versus males in sleep, and were you correct? So again, I predicted females would get more sleep, not slept. And I was incorrect. Barely. So that's the first two. You have to compare to your predictions. If you didn't make predictions, you can't do that part. By not doing what you were supposed to do, you lose some points. Which night of the week had the most sleep? You would have to go back and check those 7 nights. I'm not going to tell you that here. You just got to check the numbers. Were there any unusual disruptions, number 4, to this week's sleep? So if you are normally a bad sleeper and last week you had bad sleep, you didn't have any disruptions that were unusual. If you normally sleep well, but last Tuesday the cat got up on the roof and started meowing at 3 a.m., that's a disrupted week. So really question 4 gives you the answer. It's either the first half or the second half. So you might say, I had an unusual week of sleep, the first half of the question, or you might say, I had a pretty regular sleep week. Number 5, what mistakes were made or could have been made? So mistakes are things that you made, like maybe you estimated wrong, or you entered the wrong equation or deleted something in the data. Mistakes can be more general. People waited too long to enter their data and then were guessing. And so you just need to write about one possible mistake. Number 6, you could write about how we can improve the lab by fixing that mistake you highlighted, or by talking about a completely different way to make it better to track sleep. So for instance, one problem is we're rounding sleep to the nearest half hour. That's not very precise. So what could we do to solve that to be more precise? When you're all done, please don't turn it in. If you make a mistake, you get locked out of things when you turn things in. I would rather you leave it here unsubmitted, unturned in, and I'll grade it when I can, when I get to it. And that way you have a chance to come in and fix things up a little bit later if you realize something needs to be fixed. Thank you so much. I hope Mookie's example helped you. And again, if you have trouble, please email me.